Hey friends, welcome. This is Dr. Heather and welcome to Ask Dr. Heather. I am super excited to have my dear friend,
Dr. Deb
Hodges, joining me all the way from Corpus Christi,
San Antonio,
Texas. I miss it every time. We are here in
Louisville.
I'm quizzing her because it's late at night, our brains are tired, our cortisol level is going to sleep, saying it's time to go to bed. But we thought it was super important to waste a little bit more of our cortisol in our brain to share some great information with you. So Lori, we are in the room. We're about ready to go to bed, so I love that our roommate's watching us. We are super excited. We are here in Louisville, Kentucky for an amazing weekend called Hacking Better. So what does hacking mean to you, Dr. Deb?
Well, so to me, hacking means trying to work at getting something, optimizing your body. And I'm having a hard time with my brain. We figured out, we asked Siri the definition, and they said how to get gain information like on a computer. But I don't think that works quite as well. Except for our body's like a big computer. So maybe that's it. We're trying to optimize our body and our brain as a computer.
Yeah, well said. So a lot of times we've gone down this traditional path, and I actually see it with my own family, the older generation. They just do what they're told medically. Whatever the doctor says, here, go do this. And they don't really challenge what that status quo is. Like, what if I were to actually exercise? Or what if I was to do this and drink more water? Maybe challenge that with the blood pressure and see if that would help, or help my joints, or exercise a little bit more, eat some more green leafy vegetables and see what that would help. So when you talk about hacking, it's really about gaining better access to your own body's system computer. So that word hacking, biohacking, really has been surfacing the last 36 to 48 months, I would say. It's a much bigger word. And then we know keto, intermittent fasting, keto life is really one of the top search Google words, top search hashtags in the social media world, where about 5 to 8 years ago, it was just servicing. 10 years ago, nobody really knew what that keto world was. We used to think keto, we used to think seizures, childhood epileptic. But I know Dr. Deb is a neurologist. When you thought keto in your world, it was really just targeted around your field of study, which was more migraines and headaches and things like that, right?
Well, originally it was all seizures. And so not until just a couple years ago have we started using it more, or looking at it more for headaches and other issues. But it's always been kids, and only a subset of patients in the kids population that had really intractable seizures up until recently.
Yeah, kids that were unresponsive to traditional medication, and so they use the ketogenic diet to hack their bodies into helping calm down the brain from having the seizures, because that brain's a microcomputer. So now we know there are some other options. We start talking about hacking that. So as we start moving forward, we know that ketones are an energy source for our brain. Our body has two energies. Our body can use glucose, or it can use ketones. So what's been super exciting the last 5 years, we've studied the word ketones, a ketogenic diet, for almost 100 years or so. And we start looking back at the time and start looking back at research articles. And now we know for the first time ever in the world, Pruvit has produced the first pure therapeutic exogenous ketones. So we are super excited. We have flown in. We've actually probably overused some of our body's energy today, so we're refueling our body with some extra ketones today to refuel those, so we can be supercharged up tomorrow, so we can learn, give more oxygen to our brain. But we also want to do is, we know that not everyone can attend this event, and a lot of people out there still have some questions about really what is keto, or they look at the diet and they think it's too hard, maybe it can be too isolating. If you've tried the ketogenic diet, I want you to put a high five down there. If you've tried the ketogenic diet, and or even a low carb diet, the ketogenic diet is not just eating what's on the ketogenic list. It's truly testing your blood. It's testing your urine. It's not just not eating for 48 hours and saying, oh, I got my urine sick to turn pink. It's actually truly doing the ketogenic diet for a good 2 to 3 months. That's doing the ketogenic diet. I have so many people, Dr. Deb, that say, I'm doing the ketogenic diet. I've done it for 6 months. I'm like, have you checked your ketones? Like, no, I'm just eating off the list. And like, oh, you got to make sure you're checking your ketones if you're doing it, because through ketogenesis, when your liver's making it, if you're not checking your ketones, you could actually be tearing down your lean muscle mass instead of checking it. And now we know through pure therapeutic exogenous ketones, we can actually help protect those lean muscle mass. And now we know that through a pure therapeutic exogenous ketones, we can pick other diets that you want to choose. So I was a vegetarian for a few years, and that actually did not not allow me to be in ketosis and get the amazing benefits from it. So with that being said, what are a few benefits that you really are interested in learning about from these top leading thought leaders this weekend?
So hopefully we'll be learning a lot about brain health, of course.
Neurologist.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
so you know, there's
not hormones, not an OB-GYN.
we already know a lot about Alzheimer's and the benefits there. So I think the new studies are going to be on concussion, PTSD, and head injuries. Obviously, exercise benefits, and then inflammation and pain also is always important for me to learn about also. So
Harriet's asking as well. She's saying, where can we find more information about ketones, MCTs, post-concussion syndrome? Harriet, we're going to get back to you on that because there is a ton of information out there. So stay tuned. We'll get that to you. And that's what we want to use this for. So if you're unable to attend the event like myself, Dr. Deb, I know Lori's on here. I just heard from Willie Villarer. I never say his name right. He is also here. Drop down your questions because we want to keep our eyes and ears open for you. We want to pop back on tomorrow night if we have a break at lunchtime and kind of share what we've been learning. You will not get a live video stream. I won't be able to view it live because some of this research is ongoing. It's not been published, so we definitely cannot have hearsay from that. It is not funded by Prove It Company that is actually putting on this event. This is actually live information coming from universities. So we want to make sure.
NIH.
Absolutely. So we want to make sure that we're going to get some information for you and not making any false claims. So that again is some of the most things I'm excited about. We know I had an amazing opportunity through helping with Operation Torrent, which is helping 13 special ops, and we talked about brain concussions with military and PTSD. Dr. Dama D'Agostino made the comparison that with a broken brain or bruised brain, PTSD, having those micro trauma, that is actually fast forwarded Alzheimer's in someone who is a very, very young brain. But we do know now is that we actually can help that brain heal, like a broken leg can heal or a bruise can heal. But we didn't think that a few years ago, that I don't think you learned that in med school, that you could actually help a brain that has been bruised or broken or deteriorated from Alzheimer's or dementia. Now we have some options, and we're going to learn some more fun stuff tomorrow about how we can do that through, like Harry's asking, through MCT, through ketones, which is a fuel source. We only have two in our body. We have glucose or ketones, and we know how important oxygen is for our body. So super excited to bring some information out there. And we know there's skeptics out there, and I challenge the skeptics. I love to have people actually challenge the status quo. If you're not doing that, that's where those biohackers come in from. If you don't challenge it, then you just go on eating the standard American diet, trusting that, and look where the standard American diet has got us. It has got us fat, sick, and nearly dead. I did say that. Eating that standard American diet where we're eating, 11 plus servings of carbohydrates, and guess what? There's no essential carbohydrates.
No.
And it's not all Ansel Keys' fault. There's no essential carbohydrates. There's essential fatty acid, essential
proteins,
essential amino acids. There's no essential carbohydrates. And what are we told to eat? Carbohydrates. So anyway, we're going to hear a lot of great information about that. We're not here to give you any medical advice, contradict what your medical doctors had said. So Deb, you've been to some of these other events. We've got some other amazing speakers here that are going to round the house out from physical performance. And I know you're not just a neurologist. You are a mom.
A mom.
You are a fitness guru.
Well, I like to exercise.
Yes, at a very high level.
Well, I don't know about that.
And have some fun.
Yes, exactly.
And so performance and recovery is important to you.
And being able to think and be able to work and be able to play with my kids and exercise and still have the stress and not have a brain when you're at work, right? That's all important. So
that would be super mom. So super mom, and wants to help also her super mom be herself. So we also look at that going to like, how can we help our moms? Because when you hit that age of a half a century, you're looking at your parents saying, how can we help slow down that aging for our parents? And then how can we actually slow that aging process down for ourselves? So I'm excited about all the anti-aging that we're going to hear about. Because again, when you hit that mark, my dad was 52 and he was killed in a car wreck, and I was 25. I remember thinking, you know what? He was 52, and he actually lived a pretty good life. We know after 52, then becomes like 70 or 80. And looking at my grandparents, like there's not much to do once you kind of hit that age. And now being over 50, like, oh my gosh, this is really young. Like I got a lot of more stuff to do. Like that was way too young for my dad to go. And looking at the age of my kids, so I definitely think that anti-aging issue. Yes. So Jackie's saying nutrition needed to be mandatory in medical schools. Jackie, yes. I agree. I can tell you at KU Med Center in the nutrition department, they are doing a fellowship in the ketogenic diet. And then Matthew Taylor is actually at KU Med Center. I'm going to shout out to the KU Med Center. He actually has gotten some amazing papers on Alzheimer's and the ketogenic diet. So it is getting in there, but it takes people shouting out. It takes people asking, say, we need to have this information out there. Go to your local universities, ask people for that. Go to your local TV station, go to your local meetup saying, we need to have this information out there. We've got to get it right now. We have children dying at a younger age than ever before. We have type 2 diabetes not being diagnosed at 80 or 90. We have it being diagnosed in people in their younger 20s. We just were talking about what we learned last time we were here. Sorry, I'm over talking Dr. Deb as usual.
It's okay.
She's just it.
I just listen.
She'll overrun me, outrun me, out kickbox me. I'll just overtalk her. That we learned that if you have a family history of diabetes, then you need to start doing Alzheimer's prevention and dementia prevention at the age of like 25. If you don't have a diabetic in your family and you don't have any family history of Alzheimer's or dementia, then at 35 you need to start doing brain health. What does prevention look like? Do you remember what some of those prevention things look like?
Exercise.
Absolutely. Exercising, getting more oxygen to your brain.
Ketones.
Adding ketones to your brain and MCT oil because that passes the blood-brain barrier. Sleep is that secret weapon. 7 to 8, no more than 8 hours. You've got to calm down, reset, recycle the hormones of your brain. That's where your brain starts to really do the healing process. There is a secret recipe to actually healing and regenerating your brain, which is sleeping, not staying up all night, cutting out the blue lights. I do have a quick YouTube video that I made with Tanya Collins through Operation Torrent. She actually helps veterans help themselves re-sleep and learn. We call it sleep hygiene. So getting that sleep hygiene is also a great way to help heal that broken brain or slowed brain and help our kids get off the phone. Your brains are meant to read right to left, not scroll up to down on Facebook and Snapchat, and get the blue light cut out and turn off these lights, open up. There's so much we could talk about, and I don't know they're going to talk about it, but they always end up talking about a little bit of fun stuff like that, like blue blocker glasses. Yep. So fun stuff, but we want to help you guys be here. I know some of you can't be here, but if you are going to be here, put up like a number 10. I'm going to be there. I'm going to see you. Come give myself or Dr. Deb a big high five, a big hug, something like that. Let us know you watch this and you're going to be here. Drop your questions down below. We want to know what we can ask you. We want to be your ears and eyes this weekend, and we want to help clarify whatever is unclear that's clouding up the unconcern why you should still be eating corn and hummus and non-bread at the same meal, and why it's okay that these burger chains are making these modified plant burgers that taste like I don't know what. Do you guys know there's 21 essential amino acids? 21. Our caveman, 21 essential amino acids. Current humans, 21 essential amino acids. We need essential amino acids because we have 12 different organ systems. We need to have 21 essential amino acids and consume them around the clock. That means we do different ones throughout the day, not the same thing every day, but we need to consume a variety of essential amino acids, a variety of fats, a variety of green leafy veggies, and some red veggies and some yellow veggies, and there's no essential carbohydrates. So hopefully that was some fun talk for you. And Harriet, I'm going to remember on it. Perfect. And Mike, you should come up here and join us, Mike. Or Mike, join us tomorrow night, and you can help get these questions. So drop the questions down below. I just committed Mike and his lovely bride to helping getting some questions answered. So Mike's going to follow along and join us. So Mike, we've asked people to drop their questions down below who cannot be here in Louisville with us at Hacking Better, and we're going to help get some of their questions answered that they may be confused on any type of health, Alzheimer's, dementia, CTEs, exercise, recovery,
thyroid,
hormone imbalance, thyroid. I'm telling you, we get thyroid questions all the time. Hormone imbalance a lot of times. Infertility, just general aches and pains, but sleep. Fatigue is such a big one. People walk around tired all the time. They go to the doctor, everything's normal except for they're fatigued and they can't sleep. So anyway, super excited to be here. We've got to get off and get our brains sleeping in that great pattern. So thanks for joining us, and we'll be seeing you all tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.
it.